Hello, fellow tube surfers, this is Bubba Drew, and welcome back to Homebrew Vehicle Sandbox. Now, I did some looking into this game, because as you probably already know, what the heck? Okay, I guess there's some other people in here. But if you remember what happened in the previous episode, I tried to make a car and it failed. That was kind of my reaction when it failed. Anyways, I learned that for some strange reason, when you equip a single gearbox, not like an actual car transmission, it doesn't seem to work. I don't know if there's something I'm doing wrong or if there's something more, but I tried to build another car with a normal transmission and it worked. In fact, I'll actually open it up right now. But first, I have to introduce the car of the day. So today I got another Jada 1/32 scale car from the Fast and Furious series. This one is quite possibly one of my recent favorites. Here it is right here. It's from the new movie, kind of like the other one was. This is a 1951 Chevrolet Fleetline. And apparently it was the car that Dom raced in when he was in Cuba. Now, another one of my interests is actually cars that people can be seen driving around in Cuba because, well, number one, they're 50s cars and they're, like, classic. But one thing I really like about them, and that really kind of sets them apart from the rest of the world, is that they're modified in such ways that they stay running. I mean, sometimes people swap out the engine, that kind of stuff. But still, to see that those cars are still, for the most part, running is pretty cool. And this is kind of like an embody of that to me. Of course, it's been stripped down for racing, so there's no fenders, no hood. There's a turbo. I don't know if you can see it, the blue thing right there. Yeah. I'm not going to spoil anything, even though I've seen the particular sequence in which it was driven. But you probably already know what happens to it. Alright, anyways, we're getting back to the game. So here's the car right here. It's a work in progress, as you can probably already notice. I call it the Sixer McDixer. After something I heard in a YouTube video that I watched, and someone said that. And I kind of liked the way it sounded, and this car has a 6-cylinder diesel engine. So that's why I call it the Sixer McDixer. I probably might end up changing the name to something a bit more creative. But what I was going for was kind of like a home-built sports car type of thing. Let's say the person who would build something like this owns a junkyard or something, and he uses a lot of the spare parts to build it up, but he only has a diesel 6-cylinder engine to put into it, mainly because of the power. It's kind of the story I'm going for here. Also, as I said, I put a car transmission in it, but for some strange reason, when you have a diesel engine, it changes to truck transmission in the tuner menu. I have some suspension work that I need to do, but for the most part, it drives. Let's see if I can get in here and boot this thing up. Also, I love the engine sound, but it's kind of inaccurate for the car that it is, or the engine that it is. See if I can get a good camera angle going on here. Okay. Oh yeah, and it's a manual shifter as well, so you gotta actually let me get it to a proper gear so I can get it up to speed. But yeah, the other thing, I don't know if I said this already, but I really have to tune the suspension so that it can hold up the weight better. In fact, I actually might do that right now. Let me get out of this thing. And let's go into the menu. It's not the menu. It's the... Okay. I know what I'm doing. Alright, we're going to build. We're going to open the last project. Yeah, my original plan for this video was actually to showcase some workshop vehicles, like vehicles people have created and that kind of stuff. I know it's been done before, but I haven't really seen a whole lot of people do homebrew videos anymore. So I figured, why not? And of course, Workshop decided to fail on me. So I can only navigate my library. But luckily, oh geez, my voice. Luckily, I was able to get some mods. So once I get done tuning this thing, I might actually get to that. Anyways, back to modding this thing. So I look at the suspension setup. I don't exactly know how it works. I want the suspension to kind of hold the car up, but I want it to still have some play in it. And when I say play, I mean, you know, some roll here and there. Body roll, that is. But the only problem is I don't know what to do. I don't know what's... I mean, suspension dampening, that's so that your car doesn't just keep bouncing up and down and up and down and up and down. And it kind of softens. But suspension force, I don't really know what that means. I mean, I'm thinking maybe the higher the figure, the more stiff it is, possibly. Actually, let's try that out right now. Let's do 5,000 for that, and 4,500. Well, actually, we're going to do 4,000 for the damping. Okay, not 40,000. That'd make it super spongy. Okay, we're going to save this, save the project. And we're going to exit. Alright, let's see if it has any effect whatsoever. Barely any. I'll be back once I figure it out. Okay, I'm back. It doesn't look like I did a whole lot, but I did some tweaking with the suspension. I think the real difference is that I lowered the ride height just a little bit. But what I basically did was I made the rear suspension stiffer than the front suspension, mainly because the engine's really heavy, and I had to put a ballast at the bottom. I don't know if you can really see it down there. It's kind of like the grooved thing under the seat. The only problem is I can't really even out the weight because I don't know how much the engine weighs. Because you can change the weight of the ballast, but yeah, as I said, I don't know what the engine weighs. But anyways, I hope this is some sort of an improvement. Honestly, I think this might end up just being an episode of me tweaking this car up, seeing if I can get it to drive properly, because it works. It's just I can't really get it to drive. Okay, I think I got an improvement. Actually, the other thing is that since it is a truck transmission, it might have a lot more gears, so it's slower to take off. So that might also be a possibility. So it doesn't exactly brake well. Yeah, the weird thing is that it seems to accelerate better when you're in a higher gear, which is kind of weird because that's not exactly how it works in real life. Oh yeah, I forgot I had a handbrake, which is not connected. Okay, let's get to this view again. Honestly, I like this chase camera right here. Yeah, the only real problem now is that it is very heavy, which is not very sports car-like. I don't think the body of the car is helping either. But I'm actually kind of... I can badge this as an improvement over the previous setup that I had on this car. Okay, it's getting a bit drifty now. Oh, jeez. I'm on a dirt road, obviously. So, it's getting a bit loose. Let me shift up again. How many gears does this thing have? Okay, I think that's it. Okay, I'm quite happy with this, now that I got it working right and all that. Okay, well, actually, I wonder how much torque this thing has. Let me see here. Let me shift all the way down so I can find reverse. Yeah, it's weird because for me, when you have to hit like a shift button, it doesn't really work because you have to hit the button twice in order to shift down one gear. I don't know why that is. Okay, it's not exactly the fastest in reverse. Also, I noticed that the panels are mismatched as far as color is concerned. I might have actually selected yellow for the rear fenders when I should have selected orange or something like that. I don't know, it's probably something dumb like that. Gearing up. And here we go. I'm pretty sure that this thing can make it up, that's for sure. Okay, the ballast is not helping with the... Oh, okay, it's correcting itself now. Okay. Yeah, this is a heavy thing, that's for sure. As I said, it's not exactly a sports car so much as a sedan with a sports car body. Might as well be like one of those old Volvo sedans or something. Actually, what models of Volvos were actually diesels way back when? Or were there any diesels at that time? In cars, that is. In Volvo cars, specifically. Leave a comment and let me know, please. Okay, I think, Okay, I think we're gonna go back to the thing and we're gonna complete this thing. Alright, so that took longer than I thought it would. I was able to get all the kind of cosmetic stuff done. I'm not really done yet. There's some crazy stuff going on in the chat right now. It's funny. It's kind of a funny story. As I was building this vehicle, these people were like typing in the lyrics in the chat. They're typing in the lyrics of Bohemian Rhapsody, and now it's just become a mess now. I don't even know what they're doing. But anyways, with that being said, let's spawn... Well, first let me get the right gadget. Spawn the car. I'm actually quite proud of this, the way it turned out. So yeah, I got the front end done. I've learned that I used yellow and orange directional panels. I was going to leave the fenders, the little slabs here on the sides, the front slabs. I was going to leave them down to the level of the front panel, but I decided to lift them up just so they kind of look like old school kind of fenders. Kind of like something you would see on, well, I don't, there's a lot of cars you'd see that on, like, the hood's curved, but the fenders reach to the height of the, I don't know how to explain it. Anyways, okay, I didn't want to do that. Anyways, why don't we just get in and drive this thing? It's a car, it's what it's meant to do. Let's fire this up. I don't know how it's going to drive, though, because the body stuff always kind of tends to add weight. Also, I realized I forgot to do some adjustments with the left fender. Dang it. I'm really yawny today. Alright, we're going to get it all the way up to the highest gear, and we're taking off. Okay. It seems to be doing pretty well. Actually, now that I see it from this perspective, I don't think I messed up the front fender. It's still a little heavy. Honestly, I think I could take the ballast out or something like that. I'm probably going to do some more adjusting after this whole video is over. But yeah, I'm going to say that this is a success. Success. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, I like the way it turned out. Let me see if I can get it to the... Okay, well... There's that issue with the airtime again. I'll definitely be putting like a bottom part on it, though. So it doesn't look like it's just hollowed out on the inside like a Tootsie Toy or something. But yeah. I don't know exactly what I want to name this car yet. I mean, it's an old sports car. It's got orange and yellow panels. I'm actually going to leave it up to the audience to decide what the name is going to be. Excuse me there. So yeah, if you have a good name for this vehicle, then please leave it in the comments. And if you like this video, also leave that in the comments. Other than that, I will see you all later.